Oh, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing today? A little drizzling. No problem with that. Just trying to see what everybody's up to tonight. Should be very interesting, right? What we got in the building so far? Nice little drizzles. When you use a dark night, when you the extra dark night. What we got in the building so far? I know nobody's really on tonight. Must be one of those nights, one of those nights to still get down, I guess. Got a bunch of shadow watchers, I notice. It's kind of funny when you put things in perspective about life. There's a lot of young people who I mentor who are relatives, hell, even my son and my godson, who are under the age of 21. Well, both my godsons. One's 17, one's 20, my son's 16. It's funny how, what's up, Tampa? Supreme. It's kind of funny how life is and put in perspective how much they've seen. And then, don't worry, we'll get into that one very soon, my friend. Very soon. We're going to pin that. We're going to pin that. And perspective is relative, but it's also very telling. Perspective is something that a lot of people may throw away only because they didn't experience themselves yet, or they don't care to experience it. They want to go off of their own, lean to their own understanding. But when it comes age, to think, in July, my son will be 17. My godsons will be 18 and 21. And I'm literally more than twice their age. Some days it feels like it, some days it doesn't. Coach Lamont, what's up? Make sure everybody stays in for that migrant question. There's many things that I've seen throughout life that most people will never see. Robert Platinum, what's up, brother? And I have to remember that I'm still relatively young. 40 is not a death sentence, 41 actually. But imagine what I've seen in my 41 years so far. I'm a child of the 80s, so I've seen the last of the majority intact two-parent household, majority married parents in Black America. I've seen the breakup of the Black parents in Black America in the late 80s, early 90s. I saw the crack epidemic, and I have many of friends and girlfriends who were heavily affected by that because their parents were addicted and or died from those unfortunate choices. I've seen the violence of the 90s. I've seen stop and frisk. Sorry about that, folks. And I was a kid during the first Persian Gulf War. I was a child, or at least grade school, when Ritalin and Respidol, whatever the hell you want to call it, came out. And if you showed any type of masculinity, they would drug you. I like to quote Dr. Umar on this one. They would lock up your daddy for selling the same stuff that doctors or teachers would actually suggest your child to be on. Get out of here with that. I was evaluated. To this day, I still find it funny because instead of having a learning disability, they found out how advanced I truly was. How sublime my talents and potential truly can be. As a teenager in the mid to late 90s, I've seen the teenage pregnancy. I've seen running gun battles literally outside my home a few times. I've seen the difference of what hip hop culture from positive to the downright negative. Admiral Smoke, aka Captain Jack, how you doing, brother? I've seen where being intelligent in the Black community was frowned upon heavily, and you were chastised for it. You paid a undeserved penance. In the mid to late 90s, I ventured a sport at 14 years old called scholastic and collegiate wrestling. Trained very hard, by my coach, may he rest in peace, power in paradise, Larry O'Neill Brown Sr., trained very diligently. Lost my first match, even though I was winning 4-0, but made the cardinal mistake of turning on my back to get my opponent on my back, which is a no-no. Went through paradox, a quagmire, that proverbial fork in the road that said, stop now, you gave it your best, or dig deeper and entrench yourself in that bunker and engage in trench warfare. So I decided that I'm going to get that trench shotgun, that bayonet, and I'm going to give somebody some cold blue steel. Figuratively, of course. And in my first year, I won the 160-pound championship in the first round, beating the guy I lost my first match. Skip ahead to the year 2000, where little shy, scared, skinny old me grew into a young man who was a 4-time champion, ranked top 5 in the state of Maryland in high school, top 2 in freestyle, top 3 in Germany in freestyle wrestling. Three times I was an honor roll student, literally with a 4.0 at 3 different occasions through the semester. Was a class and company commander in my JROTC. Graduated high school, 99, joined the U.S. Army. 2000 went to then Fort Benning, Georgia, now Fort Moore. As Ronnie Laws would say, a boy grows up, leave his home to be a man. Finished AIT in Fort Lee. Shout out to the Quartermaster Corps. 2001, enrolled in Coppin State in West Baltimore. Entered the senior ROTC program. Did not finish. Of course, obviously, if I did, I would be a commissioned officer. 2001, September, you might have heard of this day that may or may not live in infamy. On September the 11th, the Twin Towers were attacked and decimated. Sub, former lieutenant, well, always a lieutenant, you earned that, but now business owner, Terrell Hall. And from September 11th on, the United States of America entered the global war on terror. In 2002, I was called up to be mobilized, trained for 6 months, so they sent us home for 6 months. Then they called us up again. And we trained for another 6 months. not knowing what would happen. December 3rd, 2003, we got on the planes to go to Kuwait. And we jumped on a helicopter. Actually, no. We jumped on a Chinook entering Iraq and officially a part of Operation Iraqi Freedom Wave 2. There, I was put on the guard towers for 90 days. And if anybody knows me, I don't like being in stationary places for quite long. I looked at this tactical unit that was on the MSR, or as we commonly refer to as the street or the road or the highways and byways, watching them do raids. And I said, who's that? That's our quick reaction force. That seems cool. I want to do it. Well, you know, it's the most dangerous job on the base. I don't give a damn. I want to do it. It beats being a sitting target in a guard tower, 25 feet in the air. So I was, the next day, immediately gathered my belongings, tried out for the team, made it. They called me E, short for Eeyore, from Winnie the Pooh, because of my monotone voice. Everybody has a nickname. Just pray to God it's a cool one. During my time with the QRF, we conducted several house and building raids, perimeter and interior security, convoy security, reconnaissance missions. Sometimes we were on some capture and kill missions. I'm just going to plainly say it. We would capture people who are of interest. If they pose a threat, we would deal with that threat and neutralize it. We would work with different tactical units. We trained with guys from, you might have heard of them, some United States Army Special Forces, aka the Green Berets, when they were teaching us tactics and shooting, and went on a mission with them. We conducted several raids. For those of you who don't know, I have over 354 successfully documented missions. And that was just in the first 6 months of an 18-month tour with the QRF. As I explained to people for years, I had a chance during that war to work with the best of humanity while battling against its worst. Perspective, remember that. Came back home March 15th, 2005. After seeing mayhem to death and destruction, heroism, bravery of my fellow man, both good and evil, took 6 months to get my head together, went on a vacation, When I tried to go back into the workforce, no one would hire me, especially when you have a stigma against combat veterans. If I was hired by my first law enforcement agency, which was the Department of Veterans Affairs Police, there for 1 year, I was told 2 days before Christmas that they were going to let me go 2 days after Christmas. And woe is me, that's when Charles III was on his way. So I worked for Watkins Security for 10 months, taking a $15,000 pay cut. And let me back up for a minute. I was told by a certain someone in the VA police who looked me dead in my eye and say, maybe it wasn't meant for you to be a police officer. Keynote, beware of dream killers, ladies and gentlemen. Beware of dream killers. Don't allow them to put the knife in your back. What's up, Raven Knight? So working at Watkins, I've seen some perspective. I was assigned to prisoner transport in Baltimore and Anne Arundel County, where we would transport prisoners from the Sally ports or the holding cells to meet with the court commissioners to see if they get a bail or no bail or how much their bail will be, and then transport them to the actual detention centers. Lo and behold, I got hired by the Baltimore Police Department. And I remember one of the guys, I don't know if he's still there at Watkins, who had a very nasty attitude, but I thought he bat for the other side because he was heavily effeminate. You kind of just work today. And I said, hell no, fuck you. And I especially didn't work it because of people like you. Was hired at the Baltimore Police Department on officially September 18th, 2007. Your EOD. Back up a couple of months. My son was born in July of 07. 7 pounds, 8 ounces of kicking fury. Entered the academy October of 07. The last class, 0705, the fifth class of the year 2007, 0705, the last class to graduate from Guilford. 5 flights of stairs you go up, don't touch that goddamn elevator. Was sent to the harbor unit for several months. Best fucking time of my life. I was a better womanizer than Kennedy during that time. 26-year-old me, 25, 26-year-old me, shiny badge, brand new Glock 22, 40 caliber. Couldn't tell me shit. The women just kept coming, and so did I. Later that year, assigned to the Northern District. A few crazy relationships and a whole lot of women and liquor and cigars later, left the Baltimore Police Department December 1st of 2021. Especially after being a combination of disenfranchised and the department starting their fugazi shit. I'm not bitter about it, but as Terrell Hall would probably tell you, when you leave one place, sometimes leaving is not sorrow. Leaving becomes freedom. Leaving becomes open to know who you truly are and where you stand on earth. A job has never defined me, I defined it. A career has never defined me, I define it. No matter what capacity, I shall forever remain a warrior. March 16th, 2022, I established my own security firm, which was another dream of mine, Black Lion Security Firm, LLC. The pride of protection with the protection of the pride. Later that year, also became an NRA nationally recognized and certified firearms instructor for CCW, pistol, rifle, shotgun, protection in the home, out the home, chief range safety officer as well. Start picking up little odd jobs and gigs. And a struggle are full of blessings. You're damn right. Later that year, I was diagnosed with PTSD and depression and became 50% disabled as a combat veteran. And healed. I gotta let you know, people, the scars on my body, my mind, and my soul tell a story. They tell you where I've been. They tell you where I survived, where I struggled, where I triumphed, and where I healed. March 2023 was enrolled into another dream of mine, Executive Security International, ESI for short, literally called the Harvard of Bodyguarding, and became a certified protection specialist in executive protection, and also certified in corporate security management. July of 23 was hired. My company was hired. Biggest job so far, to be the protection unit of not only celebrities, but also 10,000 people at BlurCon. With the little resources that we had, We had total success. July of 23, I was hired to do executive protection for a high-end family to go to Sarasota, Florida, where for 7 days we stayed at a $10 million house, ate at four-star restaurants, and successfully protected a family while on vacation. August of 2023, I was also hired by the state of Maryland slash BCCC, Maryland State College, to be a police supervisor, police sergeant, in a position where I still currently hold. And that's just perspective. That's just called growth. Terrell will tell you, when we left the department, you might have had a little choice words, but you forget, you're free. You have growth. Sometimes you got to leave your comfort zone in order to become the God on earth that you choose to be. That perspective of life is still growing. That perspective of life is saying, how do you view things from the last 20, 30 years? Are you growing? Are you progressing? Or are you just stationary and stagnant? Stagnation is when you start to see disease and filth gather. And I refuse to have a mindset of that. That perspective gives me a beautiful eye on how the world should be viewed, whether I agree with it or not. It should be viewed. Terrell said, I regrouped, went so hard professionally that my enemies were too small to retaliate against. Exactly. The same motherfuckers that laughed at me are now trying to see, hey, you got any secondary work? Go figure. It's like I told Terrell and his brother Josh, Psalms 110 verses 1. And the Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand sit at my right hand until I make your enemy your footstools. That verse is basically telling you, keep doing you, keep being positive, keep growing, keep progressing, keep crawling. If you can't walk, if you can't run, crawl, slide on the damn floor. You keep moving forward. And watch, everybody who brings anything against you, false witness, unreasonable subterfuge, hatred, despair, negative energy, watch how things become fully circled and they have to kiss your ass just to survive. And you don't even do it for them to kiss your ass. You do it because it's mind over matter. They don't mind because you're the only one who matters. I like to use my Superman terminology for that. What's a world? What's a world of people who hate you to a man who can move a planet by hand? What is that? What is that? I can throw you into the goddamn sun and fly off to somewhere else. You don't matter. I live off of your hate. You know why? Because I'm going to still bless you. I'm not going to bless you to throw it in your face. I'm going to bless you because that's what I was born to do. That's just my nature. Lions roar, birds fly, fish swim. I piss greatness. It's just a law of nature. It's called perspective. Dr. John Hagee once said, problem, promise, provision. How you look at your problem determines how long you stay in it and also what happens afterwards. I think that's a really cool concept. And oh yeah, side note, let's go back a few years, almost 2 decades, back in 2008 when I graduated the Baltimore Police Academy. Because it was on Guilford Avenue downtown and we got our blues. I literally, and when I say we got our blues, we got our, because we wore khakis to signify that we were trainees. We weren't police officers yet. We got our guns and badges. We got all our gun equipment. I literally walked from Guilford down to Green Street, back to the VA, and looked the same motherfucker who told me that it wasn't meant for me to be a police officer, shook his hand and smiled and winked at him. I said, damn, maybe you were right. Maybe it wasn't meant for me to be a police officer. That gave me so much satisfaction. That gave me so much. Tell me I can't do it while I'm getting it done. Don't do that. You just gave a Kryptonian a burst of sunlight. See, there's a concept in perspective. You got to realize this, ladies and gentlemen. While you're too busy being a hero, somebody else is going to always view you as the villain. And if that does occur, be the best goddamn villain you can be. Be the best damn villain. See, the difference between the hero and the villain is oftentimes what? That circular conversation, perspective. What do they always say? The hero and the coward, the only difference between them is the actions they take. I spent 20, almost a quarter of a decade, excuse me, a quarter of a century, nearly 25 years. June will literally make 25 years of holding a gun for God and country that I've served very honorably, by the way. Perspective. June of this year will make 25 years of holding a gun for God and country. And my son, when he was really small, asked me, what's the difference between a bad guy and the good guys? I said, The good guys and the bad guys, what makes us different is that bad guys use human shields. The good guys are the human shields. Perspectives. It's never going to be easy. Being great is never going to be easy. Being the hero is never going to be a thankful job. It's going to be the most thankless shit you'll ever do in your life. It's like being a good father. Mama gets the dinners, gets the elaborate gifts, gets the surprise parties. A good father, at best, he'll get is a tie and a pair of fucking tube socks. But he's the back that generations are built upon. I've said this many of times in this space. When you go to God complaining about how heavy your load is, you shouldn't pray for a lighter load. You should go to the Almighty praying for a stronger back to deal with an even more difficult one. Men are never human beings. Men are human doings. What we do, what we create, what we conquer, what we protect, what we destroy defines our value. And guess whose value lasts longer? Perspective. Perspective changed the last 25 years for me. I don't strive to be a nice guy because I'm not a nice guy. There are times I'm pretty fucking grumpy. There's times I'm a fucking curmudgeon. There's times I'm mugging so hard that I will make fucking porcelain crack. I don't strive to be a nice guy. I strive to be an honorable man. Nice guys get taken advantage of. Honorable men are like Ford trucks. They're fucking tough as shit. They can endure. You learn how to fucking endure. Oh yeah, by the way, February 2024, I literally reversed my diabetes. I no longer take medication. It's pretty much, the doctor said I did so much of a fantastic job, it's like it never happened. Motivation, dedication. You can't keep an honorable man down. You make a promise, you stick to that motherfucker or die trying. Perspective. Perspective let me know at 41 years old, I've lived longer than Dr. King and Malik El Shabazz, aka Malcolm X. They did not live long enough to see my age because they both died prematurely at the age at 39 and were betrayed by the closest people to them. You call no one your friend, your confidant, or your brother if they're not willing to die for you. If everybody wants you to be in the front, Their closest people will take the front so they can take the bullets. They'll take the slings. How did I reverse it? Control my fucking eating habits. Work out. Be a fucking man who's accountable for his health. See, the problem is we got a bunch of people who tell us what a real man is with zero experience in being a man. And some of those motherfuckers happen to be born male, unfortunately. Why is it perspective again that every time you hear somebody says, well, a real man, and when you talk about that real man, he goes down in standard to take your bullshit. Well, a real man would not even suffer your ignorance. A real man would not even speak to such idiocy. A real man would have checked you even sooner. They don't talk about that type of real man. They don't talk about the real man who doesn't take your shit lightly. It's always a real man in the service of someone else. What a real man would do, young lady and so-called young man, is to manifest his motherfucking destiny. What a real man would do is put you on the back burner while keeping all his hopes, dreams, and desires on the forefront. What a real man would do is become a better version of himself every single fucking day. He pissed greatness, shit success, and throw up all kinds of intellectual prowess. That's what a real man would do. Because the next time I hear somebody says, well, a real man would do, what a real man would do is find a real bitch and get rid of you. Perspective. I remember a chick I used to fuck with back in my late 20s, early 30s. Knew her from high school. She's a year older than me. Went to high school together. She tried to start an argument with me. The younger Charles, the less experienced Charles, would have went back and forth with her. The 41-year-old Charles said, well, back to smoking a cigar. Well, back to playing Madden. What are you talking about? I said, sweetheart, I got nothing but love for you, but I'm not going to argue with you. That's beneath me. Shout out to Escanor from the Seven Deadly Sins. I cannot feel hatred towards something that is beneath me. All I could feel is pity. See, the problem with the world today is real men are not subject to your definition. How can you define the undefinable, explain the unexplainable, name the unnameable? The closest you could get to a real man is calling him multifaceted. You're right, AB. Back to doing what you do and like to do it. I'm not going to be subject to your fucking abuse. I'm not going to be subject to your ridicule. I don't have to talk to you. I'm a real Man, you need my attention. I don't need yours. You're losing value. I'm keeping and gaining mine. A real man would not settle for putting more value into a broken horse. Why am I going to pay sticker price for a used, abused, and discontinued bullshit vehicle? Sorry, disrespectful ladies. There's no walking, talking, breathing incubator that's going to tell me how to dictate my life and define masculinity for me. Sorry, but not sorry. Well, my man used to say, sorry for your damn luck. People always say, you listen to coach, you listen to that motherfucker. Yeah, why not? I teach kings. What do you teach? Stagnation? What did you breed? Who did you teach? I taught champions and kings. I taught warriors. And I'm not even including my son. He's great in his own definition. I'm not even including my two godsons. They're great in their own definition. I spent decades teaching and reaching young black youth. I kept more young men walking across the stage. I kept them walking a 96 percentile rate of young black men who wrestled for me, graduated, and went to be contributing members of society in both college, the skilled trades, and other workforces, and some even business. Your board of education cannot see me. That's how great I am. See, fellas, women only see the price of something. It takes men to truly see the value within it. And that's the reason why the black community is the shit show that it's been the last 70 years. If women pick their fucking men like they pick their fucking hair and their shoes and their other fucking insignificant trinkets, the black community will be the second coming of fucking Mensa. How about that? The greatest gift a mother could give their child is the best possible father she can get. See, a real man has to be just. And sometimes being just is delivering justice. What happens when that real man gives you your just desserts? What happens when that real man uses his newest superpower called indifference? What if that real man give you some real talk and say, hold your own goddamn ovaries? Just like I gotta hold my own fucking nuts. What if that real man judges you how you treat him and decides where you go for dinner? Now that's real. Like, share, subscribe. Give me a woo in the chat if you like this little ramble that I just did. If you enjoyed that ramble, give me a woo. If anybody feel like donating, the PayPal and the goddamn Cash App is in there. But I think that one pays for itself. To answer your question, Tampa Supreme, if you're still here, my opinion on the migrant situation, is that it's funny how when black people ask for reparations, no, demand reparations, you don't have the money for it. But people who are not even citizens, never even built this country on their back like black people have, can get their reparations through their criminality. Because you got to remember, I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to make it clear. I need somebody to be the scribe. I want you to put this shit in the chat. I don't give a fuck what nobody feels or how they think of me when I make this statement, because you can't debunk it. You can't fucking debunk it. Okay? Y'all ready? Let me hear y'all say I'm ready in the chat. You ready? We about to deploy now. We about to talk some real heavy shit. These migrants are being incentivized for criminality. They're taking all the resources that should have went to black people, and it goes to them. So they can literally say, we don't have money for it. And I'm going to say another thing. No country on this planet ever gives up their best and brightest to another, unless that best and brightest steals or kidnaps. That country steals their best or brightest. You feel me? Every country will give up their criminals, their destitute, their prostitutes, the drags of society. We're just opening up our borders to the drags of society of other countries and taking on burdens. The United States, in a nutshell, has become the disrespected stepdaddy of other fucking countries. There, I said it. I said it. I said it. Somebody put that in the chat. The United States has become the disrespected stepdaddy of other countries. You don't get the fun of making these bastards, but you get the heavy responsibility of taking care of them. That's what happened. Somebody want to debunk me or agree? The link's right here. The link is right here, folks. That's the damn link. The United States has become the disrespected stepdaddy of other countries. You don't get the fun of making them, but you sure get the fucked up responsibility of taking care of them. Can I get a woo for that? Can I get an amen and a woo? You ain't gonna hear it the way I'm gonna tell it on C-SPAN, MSNBC, Fox News. You're gonna hear the goddamn gospel and truth. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the newest keeper of the Coliseum, AB Media.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond. Plus.
Yes, Raven Knight. What do you think about my comments about perspective and what I said about the migrant situation?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, you need to go put that on a t-shirt somewhere, man. I'm being dead serious. I might have to use that tomorrow. I might have to use that tomorrow. America has become the disrespected stepdaddy of the world.
As long as you give me credit.
Shout out to Charles, man. But yeah, I was like, damn.
I know when you heard me say that, I know you were like, damn.
Unfortunately, it's starting to look that way because even Joe Biden said, Trump, can you help me out on this border crisis? I'm like, oh, shit. Here we go.
You know, they're going to say Trump is right. Who was the president who skipped a term and became president again?
Grover Cleveland.
You might as well call him the modern day Grover Cleveland.
I've been warning people for a minute now. There's precedents for Trump to get reelected again. A lot of people forget about Grover Cleveland. He was your 22nd and 24th president.
See, hard times, soft times make soft men. Soft men make hard times. Hard times make hard men, and hard men make soft times. It's a very violent cycle.
Yep. But you're not wrong though, because every time I turn on TikTok or YouTube, I'm hearing about how a migrant killed somebody else, killed a cheerleader, killed a medical student, robbing people.
I want you all to realize this. What did I say earlier? No country just gives away their best and brightest.
Right.
Okay? What was Australia before it was a country and a continent?
Wasn't it a prison, like a prison colony or something?
It was a fucking prison colony where Britain sent its fucking unwanteds.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You think they're going to give up their... You think Mexico's going to give up their PhDs?
Nope. Venezuela's not either, especially with all the things we gave them.
Honduras and Venezuela will give you their MS-13s.
Unfortunately,
who amalgamated into an even stronger group. Remember, we warned them years ago. You motherfuckers wanted Trump out. Now you have him out. Now you're trying to pull him back in. We need the strong man back again.
Now it's so bad, even black people want him to build that wall.
I told black people for the longest time, you made money hand over fist with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He suspended H-1 visas. How politically savvy do you think the black manosphere is?
Not savvy enough, unfortunately, but we're getting there.
You do know we're 1,000 times more politically savvy than the white manosphere. They don't talk about this shit.
No, they don't.
They don't talk about perspective. What did you think about my perspective piece of my life? Been through some shit, haven't I?
Yep. How many tours did you do, just out of curiosity?
One,
One, okay.
let me put it to you this way: 18 months, 18-month tour.
Okay.
You know the average tour of a Navy SEAL? 6.
Wow.
You know the average tour of the Marine Corps? 8.
So you did
I did,
literally. So you did a little over a year, huh?
yep, 18 months in a wake up. I did more than a Navy SEAL and a Marine combined, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not considered a tough guy. I'm not considered a real man, according to most of these fucking haggard the fucking looking bitches. But that's why you should never do anything to please anybody else.
You ain't lying. You hear about that TikToker that's crying because dude sent her $30 and she said, "That ain't nothing but buy me lunch." I was like, really?
If you're starving, go make a sandwich. Think about it. I never thought I'd see the day where bitches will eat your kids but won't make you a sandwich. Females will lick your asshole,
Ugh.
dribble
Yeah.
on your nuts,
Mm-hmm. Won't make you a sandwich.
drink your cum like it's miracle water, but won't fix you a sandwich.
Wait a minute. Don't talk about Glorilla like that. Oops.
My sentiments exactly. Sentiments exactly. America's gonna have a very red wave. And you know what's funny? If I was Trump, I would have ran independent and said, fuck you both. And you know what the fucked up part about it was? He'd still win.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this before anybody else tells you this, so I'm giving you the exclusive, AB, so you can
Mm-hmm.
say Charles was right. The way things are going, Trump's gonna get so much fucking momentum. Michelle Obama, he can run against and win.
Oh yeah, it's too late for them to put Michelle in.
Even
If
if
they
she
were
came
gonna
in
do
early.
that, they should have started out like that. It's way too late for them to put Michelle in.
Even if she started out early. She's too connected to the fucking people that's making them upset.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like if Dick Cheney wanted to run for president. He's too connected to Bush.
Yeah, speaking of Cheney and Bush, I thought Bush foreign policy was bad. Biden giving him a run for his money. You there?
Yep, I'm here.
That's
I'm
what
going to
I
tell you
think.
why. I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
tell you why. Michelle couldn't win. Here's the reason why. America, believe it or not, does not want a woman in charge. We talk all this progressive shit.
Mm-hmm.
Women had a chance to get Hillary in. What happened?
You know what? You're right though, because I've heard I heard a white woman in Georgia say this about Stacey Abrams. She flat out said it on TikTok. We don't want y'all getting ahead of us.
Hmm?
We I heard this
Well,
white woman say it on TikTok, say that quiet part out loud. We don't want BWs ahead of us.
no. Do you know how mad white women are at Kamala?
Ooh.
Nobody ever
They talk
talks
about
about
that.
that.
Ooh. Oh, it's gonna be uphill battle in November. Good lord. I didn't think about that. Because I'm talking on top of the fact You know, they're saying Biden's trying to give for them suburban moms, but I'm seeing suburban moms on TikTok talking about how grocery prices are too high, how they just got $200 more on their mortgage. Like, you sure suburban is going to go with Joe Biden because they hate Trump that much? When they looking at their pocketbooks, okay.
You hurt the American dollar. You hurt the
Yeah.
American dollar. You literally fucked up everybody else's cash cow. And you think people are going to be forgiveful and forgiving about that?
Nope.
This is, we're at the cuffs of where they're going to do a revolution. And it's not going to be a hard revolution like, the insurrection of January 6th. It's going to be a soft one. Notice how masculinity is making a comeback.
Yeah.
Masculinity is making a comeback, dude.
Mm-hmm. And
And
believe
it's
it or
fair.
not, believe it or not, not too long ago, the African actually said something I agree with.
What's that?
Sooner or later, there's going to be a revolutions against the legitimate movement.
Oh, it's starting now.
And say what you want about him, he's not wrong. He said it's going to happen because there are too many white folk on that crap.
There's too many what?
There's too many white folk on that crap, and they're losing population.
Yeah. Nobody really wants that. We're not beating up the legitimate community. We're not trying to oppress them.
That's the funny part, Charles. Most of the
But it's
That's the funny
sad
part,
because
Charles. Most of the legitimate don't want that. It's a small
well,
set.
exactly.
Go ahead.
Most of the transgender said, first and foremost, we don't want kids into this lifestyle because it's hard. It's difficult. Let them make a choice when they're adults.
Yeah. Talking about transgender surgery at 8 years old. I'm like, okay, this is gonna blow up in y'all's face.
The white lesbian fucking feminist movement is blowing up in their faces. But notice how many of these chicks have become lesbian and what happened?
They
What
abuse
happened?
they abuse themselves more than we ever could.
Yep. And now you're starting to see these chicks come from being gay to going back to being in relationships with men and getting babies. I need
Yep.
security. I need security. I need hope.
Yeah.
I
Well,
need Superman.
but y'all was
I
so busy. I'm independent. I don't need no man. Like, okay.
notice the independent shit is getting hard.
Oh yeah, even some black women are starting to push up back against that independent. Like, I don't want to be independent. Give me a man, please. I need a man.
Because women typically don't make money. That's what they forget. They
Mm-hmm.
don't make money. Women are consumers, not providers.
Not builders.
No, they're not.
They're not going to do them construction jobs where you have to properly pour that cement and measure it properly. They ain't doing all that. They're not going to dig them holes because they're putting a bus lane on some of our streets in Indianapolis. They have to dig out the whole street just to
Uh-huh.
just to resurface it. They ain't doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost want to bust out laughing every time I see a woman truck driver. I'm like, okay. Cause I had an uncle that was a truck driver. I was like, yeah, y'all not gonna be doing that job long, cause all the stuff, all yeah, all the strong stuff you have to do, they ain't gonna be doing that job that long.
Look what happened to all these hoes, especially that one hoe,
Oh, when she went overseas, yeah,
when they go overseas, when the chick threw the food in her instructor, her truck driver instructor's face.
yeah, yeah. BW's been getting a bad look recently. You saw what happened to Roland Martin, didn't you?
What happened to old Roly Poly?
You remember the Strag mayor from Dutton, Illinois, Tiffany Henyard?
Mm-hmm.
He gave her a simp interview, and quite frankly, I don't have to go after him. His own people said he dropped the ball on that one.
Mm. Mm.
It was actually, and I know there's some butthurt blues that might be listening. It was actually so bad he had to do a backpedal video. Talking about,
Sounds about
I want Tiffany to come back on and answer some more questions. BBB, she ain't doing that.
sounds about right. Sounds about right.
But yeah, he gave her a softball interview, and everybody called him out for it. She created a $7 million budget hole. And here's the interesting part: you can't say I'm going after black women on this one because, quite frankly, she's gone after black men and black women in her district. She's gone after black women business owners that didn't support her. She's going after black female officials. Took her picture
Mm.
down and kicked it. And yeah. This a petty little heifer.
I mean, what did I always say? You'll see the true person when you give them power, or when you
Yeah.
take everything away from them.
Ultimate. What is that old saying? Ultimate power corrupts absolutely.
Uh-huh. Why? 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 Why do we still pay these hoes this attention? Why?
I try to leave them to themselves. I ain't in my 20s no more. I ain't trying to save nobody no more. You gonna be stupid? Stay over there. Leave me alone.
Like a good neighbor, stay over there.
Mm-hmm. You want to let that man beat on you? Okay, that ain't my problem. You got two choices. You stay there or you leave. Which one you gonna do? And don't come over here till you get therapy.
And that's the part. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. It's so destructive right now
Mm-hmm.
that I have truly no faith in these people.
No, you
I have
can't.
truly no, I have truly no faith. And they made their bed so hard, so now they got to stay in it.
Yeah, they do. Um,
See, that's what they don't like. That's what they don't like.
yeah, they gotta stand it. Well, Charles, they wanted equality. Now they got it. Like you want what do you say? Hold your own ovaries. You want to be independent? Hold your own ovaries.
Told them. Don't look for men to bash you out anymore. You having a disaster at the border? Guess what? Hold your own nuts. Y'all talked about the man. Y'all said the man was a lunatic. He was crazy. He's a tyrant. Now you got fucking known terrorists walking up to the border.
Mm-hmm.
Cartel members and gang members from other countries.
Yep.
I'm gonna say this: if you haven't bought a firearm and received training in your area, do that now. If you give a fuck about the women in your area, tell them to do the same. Because think about it. Oh yeah, shout out to BGS for the ramble. Oh, for the $10 holler. Oh shit, we gotta do it for the boss man. For the boss man. He's gonna love this one.
What's that old saying? Never trust a big button and smile. Oof.
Don't trust it, but you definitely fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Oh
Like,
yeah. I
girl,
don't hear about we don't like
you were
dark skinned women. That's a lie.
shit. Oh my God, man. Jesus Christ. Give me all that chocolate. Good God Almighty. But I don't say nothing about the dark skinned girls. You bitches look like her.
Nope.
Any girl look like her. Rhea Miles is like the type of pretty, both body and face, where she could be green and you would fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these chicks out there, they don't want to hear the reels. They don't want to hear the reels.
No, my man need to be making $100,000 a year, and he need to take me on trips and yeah. But when you go talk to Salchi, those
Everybody
women
else
that are
thinks we're
married to them high value dudes, they're working.
everybody else thinks we're sounding good, Cole.
There's a little feedback, but I'm just working through it.
Let me try something.
But yeah, it's a new day. You want to be independent? Okay, hold your own ovaries.
Nigga, I'm back.
Yeah, it's a little better.
See, what's happening it's the time of reckoning.
Yep, chickens have come on the roost.
I'm gonna cut your benefits. I'm gonna send some pretty women over to your man.
Mm-hmm.
You have no way of competing against these women because you felt as though you never had to. And guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna be out there alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's not black man's fault. It's not any other. It's not the African woman's fault. It's not the Hispanic woman's fault. It's not the white woman's fault. It's yours. How do you lose something you had first dibs on?
Mm. Well, you treat him like shit. That's how you lose it.
You expect a person to be abused. You give your ass to kiss after you kick us.
Mm-hmm.
You go to another side or another woman, and that woman kisses you, treats you better. Where do you expect black men to go? What do you expect from them? You can't even incentivize us to stay.
Mm-hmm. That was even worse than that, Charles. You don't even call your own help. You call other black women out for getting setting other black women up to get killed. Oops, did I say that out loud? Check Quinlan
Exactly.
Robinson.
What
Robinson. Oops,
happened in
did I say that out
Mexico
loud?
last year? What happened in Mexico last year?
Wasn't that 2022?
Was it 2022?
I think it
It
was
might have been.
2022.
Oh, they probably it happened probably then, and then they found out about it now.
Yeah.
I mean, last year.
There's another similar case in Alabama. I think the chick's name is Mahogany.
Oh yeah.
Where some BW with some black female set this sister up, and they found her on the road shot in the head.
Hmm.
She had texted her mom, said she had been kidnapped.
Wow. Wow.
And when they arrested one of the chicks, they said she was notorious for doing stuff like this. I'm like, oh, I was like, okay. Like, you let heifers like that run around. That's what nobody wants to talk about. You think it's the dudes that are the most dangerous in the hood? No, sometimes it's these chicks.
Because they set you up.
Yeah,
Sick somebody else on you. When that person dies, or I mean,
yeah. A lot of the violence in the hood. You think it's these dudes? No, it's these chicks. These chicks be setting other chicks up, setting dudes up.
yeah.
Then look at the Newton situation. That's why nobody wants to come back and give back.
Mm. It's it's insane. I mean, it's like you expect us to take a constant bad deal.
Mm-hmm.
You expect us to be on some up and up shit where you can't even keep your end of the bargain.
Right.
And that's the part that everybody tells them. When are you going to keep your end of the bargain?
And then they wonder why Zay don't want him either. Oops, did I say that out loud?
It's sad.
What's going on, angry black man?
Angry black man, what is it?
What up, boys?
What's up? I don't know if you heard my perspective piece and also my piece about the border crisis.
No, I didn't. Fill me in.
The perspective was giving men perspective of how life is when I gave you the examples of my life for the last 41 years and how I guide my masculinity accordingly to such. The perspective of the border crisis, America has become the baby daddy of the world, the disrespected one, stepfather.
I mean, you
I'm
spot
a,
on with that one. You already know how I feel.
you get mad with Trump saying we need a wall, but nobody said shit when Obama got rid of way more fucking migrants than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just like when Obama predator droned the shit out of the Libyans and nobody said anything. But yet Bush was the war criminal. Let everybody else tell it.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Americans are
I
very
know Donald Trump.
spoiled people.
Oh no, Donald Trump's gonna get us into World War III. Oh, you mean like Joe Biden almost doing right now? Oops.
We're very spoiled people because we pick and choose when to be mad, who we want to be mad at, what's
Mm-hmm.
there to get mad about.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's a good analogy. The you know what America has become? It's become a black man.
Ooh.
We're supposed to take black men are supposed to take care of everybody's bastards. And they try to convince you that you being a stepfather to somebody's bastard kid is a badge of honor on your behalf. This is what you're
Yeah.
supposed to do. And now it's the United States. Well, we should take in all these illegals. Why? For what
Right.
reason?
Because they're giving your reparation money to them. Oops. I got to do an AB. Oops. I didn't mean to say that.
People from very anti-black cultures are coming in here by the millions who are going to join gangs. Some are already in gangs. Some are going to start new gangs.
Mm-hmm.
And the very black women who say they're not protected, the very black women who say marriage is slavery, it's going to be open season on a lot of them.
Unfortunately.
Oh, well, it already has. It already has.
So, all I have to say to that is, hey, good luck. Let's see
Mhm.
feminism. Let's see feminism work its magic here.
Mm-hmm.
Because these people come from a culture that feminism isn't allowed.
What up?
All right.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, Namer? I mean,
It's
no, that's not
PK.
Namer.
It's not
That's PK.
Namer.
Oh yeah,
No,
PK.
I didn't
What
see.
up, PK?
How
That's
y'all
I
doing
just looked
tonight,
at
man?
my
How y'all doing?
I'm
I
doing
guess
pretty
shit
good.
silly. See, Raven Knight, shit's already real. But a lot of these heifers benefits are going back into the office.
Yeah, you see, I already seen on TikTok how some of these chicks are getting laid off.
Oh,
Talking
you
about
think it's
I've had a
bad
job
now,
ever since
man?
and it's like, I've had a job ever since I was 16, and I got laid off, and I've been laid off for 50 days.
You think it's bad now, man? Just you wait. It's about to get ugly.
I
This
know.
is
Well,
this is the clock is we're out of time
If it makes
financially.
you lonely now.
Yeah, it's about to get ugly. All
What
right,
did my man
so
Fauci said? It's over.
yeah, when it comes to a lot of financial decisions in the consumer markets, a lot of people have made some really stupid decisions over the past 3 years. All right. And
Mm-hmm.
the chickens are about to come home to roost on these people. If you're not financially clean right now, The clock is about to run out, so you need to get clean fast, and I mean like yesterday fast. Um, the housing market is about to take an extreme downturn. The car market is about to take an extreme downturn. Um, God knows what's going to happen with interest rates. You better hope that they don't raise rates again. If they do, this shit is going to look like a whole nother world real quick, real fast.
Mm-hmm.
People are already financially struggling. I mean, consumer spending is down while consumer debt is up. You know, people are spending credit like there's no tomorrow because they don't have the money. So I mean, like when it comes to black women specifically, they're leading in home ownership right now. Well, that'll change very quickly, very shortly. Um, don't ask how I know, but it's gonna go down and it's gonna
Well,
be ugly.
yeah, I said they talking about they got the most homes. Like yeah, because you're the guinea pigs. You know that, right?
No, they don't know that. They think their $38,000 a year salary is that makes them the second coming of Michelle Obama.
Oh well, yeah, they'll fuck around and find out, especially this year.
I mean, hopefully they bought their homes um prior to like around 2015, 16. Because if they didn't, there's a good chance they're in for a rude awakening very shortly. I mean, they've already kind of been feeling it because, I mean, if you look at the HUD Secretary's website or the HUD website, I mean, 23% of homes right now are just estimated are upside down right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's just an estimate. God forbid it's higher. And I mean, when you start to talk about school debt on top of all that, man, dude, who is the largest bag holder when it comes to schooling debt? It's black women.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, like honestly, I'm not even. When you start to get a big picture of what's really going on in the numbers, like they're so fucked, and regardless of what they say, like the game is pretty much over. When the fucking chicken come home to roost, that's when it's truly over. They'll be singing a completely different tone. That's when you need to watch out because that's when legs start flying open and you might get trapped with a baby. So be careful. That's all I'm gonna say. But
Yep.
yeah,
You're
Well,
not lying.
well, the vagina is going to be very cheap. It's going to come very cheap, and when everybody in this country is strapped for cash, uh, it people going to have to make choices. Do I pay for pussy or do I, eat today, or do I put
Mm-hmm.
gas in my car?
Yep.
So, I don't even really see selling the ass as a way out anymore. You've cheapened it.
Yeah.
we gonna see. We gonna see how it plays out. I'm not confident. This is gonna be pretty. I'm not confident. I mean,
Oh,
like
it's
it
not.
depends. Yeah, if the social environment amongst men continues to hold in an economic downturn, we're gonna see a whole lot of women and children out here suffering. Now, we're gonna see how it's handled from the government side of things on what they decide to try to do to deal with that situation. But that's kind of reliant and contingent on whether or not they have the money to do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see, or how exactly they're going to try to saddle, the American citizens, aka the middle class, or what's left of it, because it doesn't really exist anymore. The middle class is now the lower class, and the rich people are actually now the real middle class. Believe it or not, that's where we're at. Um, we'll see how it plays out. I'm not.
I believe it
It's gonna look
because
ugly though.
they've been talking about this since the 90s. Go back and watch Bill Clinton and Bob Dole and their debate when they were running for president. They was talking about that in the fucking 90s.
Mm-hmm.
The middle class been gone. You're not on Easy Street anymore when you're in the suburbs. That shit costs to be in the suburbs.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people are in the suburbs, they are broke.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's been true for years. Cause when I was coming up, my uncles, and my aunts told me that, like, yeah, don't let them people in the suburbs sleep. They broke too.
But yeah, these hoes are are in for a rude awakening shortly. It's gonna be ugly.
Yeah.
On a lot of different levels. Because
I know Trump.
if we get further into World War III, a lot of people are going to have to put their money where their mouth is about all this feminism shit. I mean, you've been saying you can do anything a man can do. You can do it better than a man. Well, okay, bitch. Well, here's a weapon.
Mm-hmm. I go over there and try to fight them well-trained Russian soldiers. Good luck.
I mean, you want equal pay, don't you? I mean, you know, you want equal rights, right? Put on his uniform and start loading trucks, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get real.
Well, yeah, that's all. That's all I really had to contribute because I heard, some complaints about bitches, and I was like, I might as well come in here and throw in my 2 cents on the issue. I mean, I'm out of complaints. I mean, like I've been out of complaints for a long time. I'm just, watching the clock. Like I'm eating my popcorn and watching the world burn at this point. That's why I said I moved to the cornfields, bro. I'm good. Like I just want to see how this shit shakes out because it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt and affect everyone. To different degrees, though, for sure.
I'm gonna tell you here, folks. It's like you're in a paradox, right? Because it's not even just the election. Look how people are treating each other out there in real time. I don't know. All in all, it should be interesting, should it not? We're just waiting for the dumpster fire to collapse, right, boys?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, you got the cigars and the liquor. I heard you got some guns too, so you come hang out with me. I got some guns. We can stack them together.
Yeah, I'll catch you guys later.
All right,
Later,
man.
man.
All right,
I'm
buddy.
about to go finish up some work, just giving up some perspective. Thank you all for viewing. Oh, and we out.
All right. Take it easy.